Welcome everyone to Den Excelsior episode 180, just like the Tony Hawk move. I'm your host Ricky. With me as always is Dennis.
What's up?
We're back again. We're back on our MCU bullshit.
What does that mean?
We were kind of going through them. Where do we have to catch up? We have to catch up to Endgame, right?
We did Black Widow. We definitely did Black Widow.
We did WandaVision. That was before Black Widow. Anyways,
right.
We're recapping.
I meant the movies, but yes, you're right.
Yes.
We started with WandaVision, which was the first TV show, correct?
Yeah. So I was back in the weird plague years. So we're going back. We're going back and covering all the MCU. Because there's not much else going on for a few more weeks.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking about it. It's definitely Endgame, right? Because WandaVision came out before Spider-Man. No, wait. We have to do Spider-Man.
Oh, you're right.
Homecoming or not? No, Far From Home or
Far From Home.
Far From Home, right? Yeah, because Iron Man's dead by the second Spider-Man movie, right?
Yeah.
We have to go all the way to Far From Home,
and then we're caught up. Last MCU movie we watched together, or I guess technically Deadpool, but yeah. Yep.
I saw Far From Home with you.
You did. We were at, I think we saw it in La Jolla.
Yes, I definitely remember seeing it in La Jolla.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I was next to you.
Okay.
I'm glad that memory is as strong with you as it is with me.
Hey man. It's I saw Venom with you, didn't I?
No.
Oh no, I didn't see Venom with you. No, I saw that stupid Terminator Genesis with you.
No, you didn't. I gave you those tickets.
That's right.
You're striking out.
I don't go to the movies with you. That's just a fact. It's just a fact.
Yeah, we don't go to the movies anymore. That's cool. Fine.
It's fine.
Cool. How was your free comic book day?
It was cool, man. I did it at Southern California Comic Books. It's SoCal Comics on social media, and I did a like a whole like vendor market thing where I had like a booth, and I was selling my art, and I was giving BOGOs out, and I was signing like my art and stuff, and it was really cool, like because like everybody that showed up, they had their little line, and it was a little bit rainy at the beginning of the day, and people were still waiting in line to get their free comics, and I don't know about like all the other stores, but I know that Southern Cal Comics, what they were doing is they had a whole giant 2 tables, and like half the tables were the new published free comic book day stuff, and the other half of the tables was stuff that they just wanted to get rid of, and you were allowed to just pick like it. The number changed throughout the day, but I think it started at 7, and then as the day went on, they're like, you can get 10, and like later on just like whatever, just get them, like. And so people were just showing up, and the line wasn't like, it was fast, like it was fast moving, so people weren't standing in line like in the heat or anything all day long. But they just got their 10 or 7 whatever comics, and then they put them in a little bag so that you couldn't accidentally go like misplace new comics in there as well. And then you just walk around with your little baby bag of comics under your arm, and you just go look at all these vendors, and it was really cool. There was people selling toys, people selling zines and art, and just all kinds of really cool stuff. So I was like doing like little deals with some of the other vendors, because like one of the guys, I met him at Ninja Exchange, and he recognized me, so I gave him one of my prints, and he gave me like $10 off of a toy. And somebody else was like, they had like a Speed Racer Mach 5 like out as part of their booth, and when he was packing up, I was like, how much you want for that Mach 5? And he's like, I don't know, $5. And so I got a Mach 5 for $5. It's a 1/12 scale Mach 5.
Oh wow, that's a good deal.
It's quite sun damaged.
Oh. I always wanted to do a Speed Racer like cosplay. I feel like that's a good clean look. Sorry.
No, I
That
think
movie's amazing. Go watch the rest of the movie. Anytime
mention would trigger something from you. I that was not an accident, Ricky. I knew.
go watch
I,
Speed Racer, damn it.
I know how much you love that movie, and that's fine. I appreciate how much you love that movie. But yeah, no, it was cool. It was really fun. What about you? Did you do anything for Free Comic Book Day?
I did nothing for Free Comic Book Day. My weekend was filled with. I went to a Survivor themed birthday party.
Okay.
That was kind of fun because like I didn't realize Survivor was still going on.
Oh yeah.
I was all about like the first like 5 seasons of Survivor. Like we were allowed to stay up late to watch it.
Yeah, same.
Like,
I used to watch it back in the day.
I feel like someone died like one of the first 2 seasons, or like
I don't remember.
I thought it was real to me, whatever those people are going through. So that was kind of cool to do some Survivor activities at a birthday party. And then Sunday I went to go see Beyonce. So that was total end of the non-comic book spectrum there.
Nice. Just right before the Diddy trial started, huh?
Not a lot of Jay-Z in that concert. I think there's one frame of Jay-Z in that entire show.
Not a lot, huh? Surprise.
But good show. She puts on a good show. So.
Yeah, I've seen her in concert before. It's pretty cool. I think you and I were at the same concert last time.
Yeah, R.I.P. Qualcomm.
You had good seats and I had bad seats. Yeah, see, I remember seeing that concert with you, if you want to call it that.
Yeah. I think Beyonce, she needed to work on her ADA seating, from what I recall.
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad seating. Well, that's cool. I mean, it's not the nerdiest thing ever, but it's still. I'm not gonna shame.
I mean, there was Beyonce cosplay everywhere.
Right. That's good. That works.
What have you been watching, if any?
Poker Face just came back yesterday, or no, today on Peacock. I love that show so much because I love it because it's the Natasha Lyonne show, directed and produced by Ryan Johnson. And the thing I love about it is it's like a love letter to the old Columbo show. And so
Fantastic Four with Natasha Lyonne.
Yes. What if's Natasha Lyonne?
Yes. God. Would you be excited or disappointed if she shows up as Birdie in that movie?
I would be super stoked. That would legitimize that stupid season. I would be so stoked if Natasha.
Record stand. Dennis is supposed to be stoked when she comes out in that movie.
I will be so happy if she
comes Birdie.
As Birdie. But honestly, I just love Natasha Lyonne, so I'll be happy with whatever she plays. As long as it's not like a really like dumb bit character. Like did you know Ayo Edebiri was supposed to play the assistant in Thunderbolts?
Songbird? No. She's supposed to be Songbird. Yes.
Oh, I read recently she was supposed to play Valentina's assistant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is correct.
And then she got she had scheduling conflicts and
stuff.
She
did the bear. And they're like, oh, you're more money now.
Yeah, fair enough. Whatever. But anyways, yeah, I don't want Natasha Lyonne playing a character like that.
Okay.
So
she's not Herbie. I think that was a rumor. But she's not playing a Herbie. So who knows? Who knows who she could be in that movie?
Yeah. But what else have I nerded out on? Trying to remember the other things. I mean, we are going to talk about Iron Man 3 later tonight. That was definitely a highlight for me of nerdiness. I'm trying to remember. I did finally read my two newest issues of Batman Hush. All right, I'm gonna give this to you because this is probably nerd appropriate, or this is show appropriate. I'm gonna give you the premise because I know you haven't read them, and I want to see your take on it. So Hush is back. Obviously, that's the point of a comic called Batman Hush Part 2. No surprise
somehow
there.
Hush returned.
Yeah, somehow Hush returns. And the first issue starts with the Joker getting the drop on Batman. He's got some Joker fish poison piranhas, pushes Batman into the water, and and Batman has to fight off some piranhas, barely survives, whatever. So meanwhile, while Batman's dealing with that, the Joker gets jumped by Hush. And the Joker wakes up and he's in one of those little carnival tricks, you know, where they spin the person on the wheel and they throw daggers at him and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And Hush is accurately hitting every single major artery. And he's intentionally doing that so like the Joker's gonna die. And then he sets it up so that Batman finds Joker on like dying. He's bleeding out like horribly, right? And Joker's like, Batman's like, I'm not gonna play your game, Hush. Like, I know what, you know, Hush is already gone. He's just talking to himself, basically. And he's like, I'm not gonna play your game. You want me to kill him. And I'm like, is that what he wants you to do? Or are you just kind of inferring that? And he's like, so Batman sits there kind of deciding what to do. I'm just, and while he's doing that, they're showing you flashbacks of every famous thing that the Joker's ever done to Batman's life, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think happens next? Just curious.
Joker says he's sorry for his crimes.
Now, Joker's jaw is wired shut, so like he can't really talk.
Harley Quinn comes out.
Batman puts Joker in the car, in the Batmobile.
Yep.
And he drives to Crime Alley, and he gets Leslie Tompkins to save him.
Okay, that's a Batman thing. That tracks.
Is it a Batman thing to say? Like I'm saying, it's one thing not to kill the
I don't have to kill you, but I don't have to save you.
I know that's Christian Bale Batman. That's Chris Nolan's version, but I'm saying like it was pretty harsh when he did that to Ra's al Ghul. But there's a difference when like the Joker is fully.
It's like the baby Hitler problem, right? It's like, would you?
Joker ain't no baby. Joker ain't no baby.
But like, I feel like that.
It's not. Wait, hold up. That is not anything like the baby Hitler problem. That's like finding Hitler after Hitler did Hitler. Okay, that's not the same thing at all. Like letting.
Yeah, well, it's like it's topical today, right? If the Pope had found a Hitler, a person with very strong convictions about their beliefs, finds a terrible person after they've, in this comparison, sinned.
Yeah,
they would save him. They would still save him. So
but that's the Pope, man.
I think Batman. To do what Batman does, you have to have as strong, you know.
All right.
You have to have strong. You have to have strong moral code or compass or whatever.
Fair enough. I'm curious what anybody watching this clip has to say about that. Because
I don't agree with that. I would let the Joker die. Let me make that clear.
All right. You would let the Joker die. Well, I would totally let that guy die.
It's the trolley. Is it the trolley car?
Yes, it's the trolley car. That was that's correct. Okay. You finally got one that's exactly what it. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I would kill the children in the trolley car scenario.
Okay, no one asked you to kill children. No, the trolley car scenario doesn't have to have children. I don't know where you got children from. Like that's.
I thought it's children or the old lady, right?
No, it's one person versus versus like 5 people or something like that.
Oh, we have different trolley car scenarios then.
Or it's like 1 versus 5 you don't know. I think something like that. You know, it's not. It doesn't have to be children versus old lady. You made it weird. But anyways, maybe somebody can correct us on that too. But yeah, I'm just curious. So that's where the story starts, and then the second issue is he has to bring him back. He brings him back to the Batcave because he's worried that if he takes him to Arkham, he'll die within minutes of being there, and he doesn't want anybody to see him bring him to the hospital. So he brings him back to the Batcave, and then the Red Hood shows up, and he's like, "Bro, are you serious?" Because the Red Hood has very particular beef with the Joker, and the idea of Batman saving the Joker is not cool for him. So it's. But I gotta say, so far, I'm not super impressed by the Jim Lee art of it all. I think the first Hush is a very spectacular thing where one issue after another, just all the greatest villains are showing up. And in this one, it's just like Batman nursing a dying Joker, and you get to meet Leslie Tompkins. I'm like, wow, I'm so happy I got to see Jim Lee draw Leslie Tompkins. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't care for anything Bat Family related.
Okay.
I'm a purist in that sense. I'll take a Robin.
No Batgirl, huh?
No Batgirl.
Wow.
No
Nightwing, huh?
No.
No Nightwing.
I can accept a Nightwing because he's off doing his own thing. He's pretty established doing his own thing.
Okay.
But yeah, I just don't like any of the Bat Family stuff. Like Damian,
Damian has grown on me significantly. That is an interesting character for sure. But yeah, no, good to know. Good to know that that's where your Bat love
ends.
It ends right there. Anything past Batman, no good. But yeah, let us know in the comments what you think of Hush Part 2 or that crazy
Would
scenario.
you let the Joker die?
If you were Batman, would you let the Joker die?
That's I'm not gonna read that book, so I will listen to it at some point when it's all out.
It's not great, honestly. Like I was hoping for better, but that's why I brought it up, because I was like, like I'll keep collecting it just because I like Jim Lee. But
so like Andor's done now.
It's already done.
It's all out. 9 episodes.
It's 9 episodes.
Yeah,
they dropped 9 episodes in 3 weeks.
Yeah, 3 each week.
Oh my god, they did 3 each week. I have not watched a single episode of it yet.
Neither have I.
Okay.
Don't feel bad.
I don't feel bad. I don't. That's too much Andor.
So add that to your list, your Apple TV list, your
I'm not gonna lie. Poker Face upset me a little bit today when I played it, and then I looked because they said new episodes Thursdays, and I looked after I finished the first episode. There were 2 more available. I'm like, what are you guys doing? Dropping 3? It's too many. It's too many. I can't. So I heard Righteous Gemstones ended already too this past week. Yeah. I'm so bad. I'm behind on a lot of stuff right now.
Summertime TV.
Yep. There you go. Well, what about you? What have you been? Oh no, we already talked about you did Beyonce and stuff. Nothing nerdy though. Nothing nerdy.
Nothing nerdy.
Other than this show every week.
Pretty much, yeah. It's been my only outlet.
How has Thunderbolts aged in your head in the last week?
I think it's a good return to form movie. Like I think the scope and scale and hooks into other things, I think it's appropriate for this movie, right?
I'm assuming you have news regarding this movie.
I have a kind of. Do you have other news you want to share?
I just meant how they've been changing the posters.
Oh yeah, we'll talk about that. But it's interesting though that this movie is like not performing at all. Critically, this movie's doing really well, but like this is probably one of the worst MCU movie. And granted, a bad MCU movie in terms of money,
it's still making a lot of money.
Still a really good movie, but it's interesting, like to like I think it's like whatever the superhero fatigue, right?
Yeah.
It's a real thing.
I don't know that it's a victim of superhero fatigue. It may be more of a like I don't think it's fair to compare this one to Guardians, right? Because Guardians, the trailers were exciting. Even if you didn't know anything about Guardians, you're like, wow, what is that? I want to see that. This looks like a movie with leftovers. You know what I mean? I'm not hating on the movie at all. I do like the movie. I know it sounded like I didn't last week. I do like it. I just don't think it was as good as everybody's saying it is. But I do feel like the presentation of the trailers and like what you're offering people, it's a pretty niche group. And I think the problem with it is like Thunderbolts on paper should have at least gotten all the comic book fans excited. But we as comic book fans know that ain't the Thunderbolts.
Yeah.
That's not the Thunderbolts. And so like if it's not getting the comic book fans excited and it's not getting the MCU fans excited, at least they got the critics excited, so that's cool.
Like I am happy in like the similar to Guardians. I am excited to see these characters again.
Right.
After the What If stuff was like pretty done with the Red Guardian. But I like his arc in this movie, and I like the role that he plays, and like he gets more of that fatherly moment. Same thing with Bucky and having, you know, is it weird that the guy who killed JFK ran and won for Congress? A little bit, but hey,
I don't think most of America knows he killed JFK. So, you know.
But to that point, I mean, I know we have differences of it, but like as more and more things happen in New York, it gets weird. It does get weird. Like, I think they can do a better job of like, you know, telling and not showing in some of those situations. Like you can write a few sentences here on like why certain people or certain things aren't here, and I think a good writer can figure out how to make that work.
Yeah.
But the more and more things that happen in that, what is New York, like 5 by 3 miles or 5 by 2 miles, or Manhattan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not that large of an island for sure. Yeah.
Yes. The more things that happen in that island make it weird.
I mean, I've got the easiest answer for you for all of that. Welcome to Marvel Comics, man.
I guess.
Welcome to Marvel Comics. Everything crazy happens in New York. You know what I mean? Like it's literally why I became obsessed with that city was Marvel and Saturday Night Live. And so like, you know, you just at a certain point you just accept it. Like it's comics, okay? Like it's not everything's gonna carry over into the next story and stuff. And so you take what you get, and you always hope that they will reverse engineer some cool stuff to happen later on. And like you know, and I think Marvel's done a pretty good job of making like giving you a lot of payoffs for older movies. And so time will tell on Thunderbolts and how it relates to Daredevil with Kingpin being the mayor and stuff. You know, we may see something down the line, but they're never going to do it in the story we're watching. They always do it later. You know what I mean? So whatever. You want to talk about some news?
Let's talk about the news. Since we were talking about it, I guess we can continue talking about the movie formerly known as the Thunderbolts. Because the asterisk at the end, as revealed in that movie, is they are the new Avengers, and they're committing to the bit. They're
committing to the marketing bit.
Yeah, committing to the marketing bit. Posters have been changed to reflect the new title.
You know what I checked? I checked after the posters changed. I checked Regal Cinema to see if I could buy tickets for that movie. It's still called Thunderbolts with an asterisk.
Yeah,
but they have the poster that says New Avengers on the movie. Like it's so weird. Yeah. I mean, it's cool. It's cool that they're committing to the bit, but like I said, I won't be happy unless when that movie releases on digital, like it's renamed New Avengers. Then I'll be happy.
Yeah. I'll be happy if, sure, on Disney Plus just show it as New Avengers, but I think I can see reasons why it won't be called that for.
I know.
But there's forces beyond our control.
Yes.
But I mean, touch back on it a little bit, but I kind of like, I sitting on the end credit scene of that movie, and
the post credit scene of that movie is the best part of the whole movie.
Well, the post credit for sure, but like the end credits is like people are like questioning, oh, is this the team? Like,
oh yeah.
I think it sets up an interesting. I mean, the question was like, who are going to be the Avengers going into Doomsday, and now we have these two,
it's
essentially B grade teams that are going to have to like come together.
It's going to be kind of like Endgame, right? Or no, not Endgame, Infinity War. right? Where the Avengers are split. They're two different teams at that point in the movie too. Remember? So it's gonna feel like a retread unless they do some different stuff really quick, you know. So I'm not trying to knock the Russo brothers before they're out the gate, but I'm just saying like it feels like we're teed up to be in a very similar situation that we were post Civil War.
Yeah, funny enough, the Russos actually did direct that post-credit scene too. That was another little nugget of news that came out. But you
mentioned that last week on the show.
On the Thunderbolt train, the director Jake Schreier, right? Schreier. Yeah. He seemed to have won the good graces of people at Marvel, and he's apparently the top pick now for the X-Men movie. That is very actively in production there.
Okay. Is it called X-Men yet?
He is being eyed to direct Marvel's next X-Men adventure.
Gotcha. Okay.
So you're the first X-Men story out the gate, or mutant story. How about that?
Other than Miss Marvel.
Sure.
And Black Panther 2.
Yeah. I think, I mean, it's been a rumor for a minute, but like, I don't think they're going to lead with like an X-Men movie.
I know that's what they've said before, so we'll see. Like, I just want all the toys to play. That's where I'm at right now. Like, can we finally get the toys to play? Because like,
you want young X-Men, you want like a First Class, or do you just want X-Men?
I'll take whatever X-Men they want to give me. Honestly, like, I just want them to play with like, because the problem we have right now is we've already lost so many of the cool, you know, players that should be. That you would want to see the toys bang against each other, right? I want to see Iron Man consider even going after Magneto. You know what I mean? Like, that's like, I want to see Captain America try to go after Magneto. You know what I mean? Like, these are things that we're not going to get those versions of them. You know, like, we're not going to. I want to see Wolverine remember that he was in World War II with Captain America, stuff like that. You know, like, yeah. It's all nerdy, but it doesn't matter. It's okay. You can only get so much in the movie versions, right? Like, you can only there's only so much time they can fill. So if you want more, go read the comics. I guess that's the rule, right?
Yes. Rounding out the movie news for the week, the Bears, Liza Colón-Zayas. She's going to be in the next Spider-Man movie, Spider-Man Brand New Day. So she plays Tina from The Bear.
Yes, Jeff.
Yes. That, I mean, is it typecasting to say she's probably going to play Rio?
I mean, I think, you know what? I wouldn't even say it's typecasting. I would say breaking news. You heard it here first on the Mostly Marvel podcast. She is officially playing Rio Morales.
Yes. Yeah. Hot off her Emmy. She just won an Emmy. Yeah, sure. Why not?
I mean, I think that's the speculation. So I'm just gonna go out and just say that's.
I mean, would it be bad like if she doesn't play Rio? Like,
no, it's not bad. You know, like, as long as she's not like a waitress or something. You know, it's just like handing Harry Osborn a pie.
I mean, Rio, I don't want to like ageism, but Rio's typically younger.
Yeah, but think about it. Miles already exists in this universe, according to the first Spider-Man movie, right?
A cousin of the Prowler, nephew of the Prowler, is named Miles.
So I'm saying that movie came out a while ago.
And he still lives with his mom.
Yeah. Maybe. Who knows?
Who knows? Movies directed by Daniel Destiny.
He could have also died, or I mean, he could have also blipped. You know what I mean?
That's true.
He could have blipped and his mom didn't. That would be sucky, but you know, I'm sure that happened to a lot of families. So I'm saying maybe that's why she's older than you would expect. You know, there you go.
As long as there's a accompanying Jefferson, not last name Davis anymore.
Yeah. Morales, I think, is what they go with, right? Like,
Yeah, right.
I think so. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, last bit of news: the Hasbro price increases have begun. So if you're looking for some Marvel Legends on like let's say a big bad toy store or a
Oh,
big bad
really?
toy store, yeah, there's emails going out this week saying lock in pre-order pricing and order by today.
By today, right? Yeah.
And sure enough, after today, the price, or sorry, after yesterday, the price went up.
Oh, what's the
So
prices now?
let's see, a Maximum Hulk went from $59.99 to $64.99.
Wow.
A Gamerverse Peter Parker black suit went from $24.99 to $27.99. So
$27.99. So we're talking $28 for Marvel Legends now, huh? Wow. That's pretty crazy, man.
Prep your wallets. This also affects some of the Black Series stuff as well.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it yet. I'm seeing. Are you sure it's not tomorrow that those prices go into effect?
I'm looking at Amazon right now.
Okay, because I'm on Hasbro Pulse right now, and their stuff's still the same prices. Like the like the Sentry and US Agent 2-pack is still $50.
Well, maybe check tomorrow.
Yeah, right. Seriously. Okay, I'll check it tomorrow because I do remember hearing about that. Check, do that now or else. Yeah. Well, that's pretty crappy. So I might have to go on a spending spree tonight. We'll see. Remind me at the end of the show.
That's my news.
Are you ready? Are you ready? I'm so ready. Let's do this.
Let's do it. Iron Man 3, directed
The first
by
movie
the first movie
of Phase 2.
First movie, Phase 2, directed by Shane Black.
Second Marvel movie to make $1 billion.
Second Marvel movie to make $1 billion. What am I missing? This
Shane
was
Black,
the not the only. I did not see this movie on opening night, and I did not feel bad about it.
Wow.
I don't think it's the only one. I definitely saw Iron Man opening night. This is the only MCU movie I did not see opening night by choice. Yeah.
Can I give the hottest of takes after watching it last night? This is my favorite Iron Man movie.
I think you've expressed that feeling, that sentiment.
I don't know that I ever said it's my favorite one, like compared to one, but after rewatching it last night, I'm like, no, you know what? This is my favorite Iron Man movie for sure. Like, I love this movie every time I watch it. It is such a Shane Black movie. By the way, Shane Black, I mean, he wrote Predator. He wrote Lethal Weapon.
The Predator.
Was it called The Predator back then?
Yeah. Yes,
The Predator.
The autism Predator.
No, the original one. Didn't he
wrote that? He wrote that Predator? No, he's in Predator.
Oh, you're right. He's in Predator. He's Hawkins. You're right. You're right.
Yeah, he's in Predator.
Yeah, he wrote Nice Guys. He wrote Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. I think he also worked on the Lethal Weapon movies. You're right.
Predator.
He wrote The Predator.
What else? He got a lot of shit for that movie.
He's got Last Action Hero. He wrote the screenplay for that.
I've never seen that movie, and
I thought you loved that movie. Oh.
No, I know the premise.
I think you'd like that movie.
I think I would too. But
yeah, he wrote the Monster Squad. Oh my god, that's amazing. I do
like Nice Guys. I like Nice Guys a lot. That's a great movie.
I've never seen it actually.
You want to talk about a better movie than Iron Man 3?
No,
the Nice Guys.
I don't want to because I think you're gonna have a hard time convincing me. But I will. I just put that out there so that you are welcome to ask me questions and I will defend this movie to the grave.
I'm not gonna. I don't hate this movie. I think it's a fine movie. I have mixed feelings of this movie. Rewatching it, I will say, like, this is very much, I guess to an extent, the Avengers was too. Like, the Avengers is the Whedon movie, right? Like, you kind of, you see it
Oh, Avengers is totally a Whedon movie. Yeah, for sure.
And I felt like that was the first one of those movies where it's like, okay, yeah, this is this guy doing his thing. And
I mean, Iron Man and Iron Man 2 were Jon Favreau movies, dude.
Yeah, but Jon Favreau wasn't like the known
Jumanji? No, not Jumanji. Zathura. He did Zathura. He did Maid. He did
Elf.
Well, he did Elf also, but I'm talking about like the So Money Baby Swingers.
Yeah, he did Swingers, but
it's fast talking. He likes to do these fast talking movies.
I felt like this is very much a Shane Black movie.
Oh yeah, for sure.
What I'm trying to say. 100 from top to bottom, and I can respect it on that level. Like, they let him do his thing. He did his thing. I think some of my gripes originally watching that movie were, you're coming off the high of the Avengers. It was like, oh, we're going back to like if it almost felt as if the universe, the MCU, got smaller with this movie in terms of scope and scale.
It did get smaller in terms of scope and scale, but like it was still very much a reaction to the events of the Avengers. So I think it went down to a personal level to show you like what, yes, Iron Man was the hero of the Avengers, but like also he saw some shit, man. And it's like he saw an armada of aliens on the other side of that hole that nobody got to see. You know what I mean? And like that's terrifying. And I think this movie has aged like a fine wine, because really, if you think back to like Infinity War, when he finally learned about Thanos, it was kind of satisfying for him to finally have a name, because everything he had done since Iron Man 3 was in response to Thanos, right? Like it was everything. Like building Ultron, that was to protect the world from threats like Thanos. Like even in Iron Man 3, when the kid's like, are the aliens coming back? He's like, I don't know. Yes, probably. Yeah. Like this man is disturbed. And I will put out another hot take. I think Iron Man 3 deals with the subject of mental health better than Thunderbolts.
I mean, you're kind of like lumping all mental health and
no, I'm not lumping all mental health. I'm saying
they're two different.
I'm saying
parts of that mental health umbrella.
Right.
More PTSD and the other one's.
Well, no. I'm not even saying that. What I'm saying is I think they dealt with it more responsibly in this movie than they did Thunderbolts. Thunderbolts, it's like it gets a little muddled by all the magic and stuff of it. You know what I mean? I don't know what to call what's introduced. Like, is it magic? Is it what? You know what I mean? Like, is he sci-fi? Like, whatever he's doing, it just confuses a little bit. It makes everything jumbled and muddled and stuff. But I think in Iron Man, like, it's not only about Tony dealing with his traumas, but if you think about it, like everybody who he's fighting, all the extremist people, they're all post-war veterans that, like, a lot of them are amputees or are suffering other types of traumas, and they're seeking this program to help them in a world where nobody else would. You know what I mean? And like, I think that's a real problem that doesn't get addressed a lot, especially in fiction, in our fiction stories, is like, as veterans, like they get just kind of abandoned by their own country. And so it's sad that they're the bad guys of the movie, for sure, but I think that's really a cool thing to look at when you're watching this movie. Is it's like, ooh, these are all trauma people just fighting each other through this whole movie. It's a little icky, but I think I'm supposed to just root for Iron Man because he's Iron Man. You know what I mean? Like, but yeah, I think the movie does little bits every now and then to like make you, if you're actually paying attention, you take a step back and you're like, oh, that's not as clear cut as I wanted it to be. Like, case in point, like, and I know we're gonna talk about this eventually, anyways, but I've always been with you on the side of like, you had your biggest complaint about this movie is this movie culminates with the president of the United States getting kidnapped and nobody else comes to save the day.
Yes.
And this time around, I finally saw why. Did you catch it? Why? So
Enlighten me.
in this movie, like in the middle act or whatever, they the bad guys AIM gets a hold of the Iron Patriot, aka War Machine suit, right? And they get on board Air Force One with the president and everybody. And sure enough, once they're up in the air, Iron Patriot just starts murking as many people as he can. And then you don't see it, but off screen, the Savin guy gets out of the suit, puts the president in the suit, sends it off. And then when Iron Man shows up, that plane's already blowing up and he ends up like saving everybody, right? Or he's the people that are falling out of the plane. So at that point, like as far as America knows, and as far as the plan is, right, the president has died because like the plane is blown up. The president's died, and their plan is tomorrow the vice president will be sworn in, right? Now, Iron Man was privy to that information only minutes earlier, right? He figured out what this plan was. He had time to call one person to warn them. Unfortunately, he happened to call the bad guy. Like he called the vice president. And then the vice president is like, after he hangs up, the Secret Service is like, everything okay, sir? Oh yeah, fine. And then like, by the way, to make it weird and muddled, he then walks over to his daughter who is missing limbs. And you're like,
Dude, Jenna Ortega. Or not, it's not Jenna Ortega. She's the president's daughter.
Was that Jenna Ortega? Really?
Yeah. She's the kid in Iron. She's the president's daughter in Iron Man 3.
Oh, they couldn't even get a real amputee. Oh, now you make me mad. But anyway,
I don't know if she's amputee though. She might be.
Or born either one of the. I don't mean to label like that, but she's missing extremities, right? She's missing extremities, and but you get the idea through visual storytelling, right?
Yes, that is Jenna. In the wheelchair, it is Jenna.
Oh, that's interesting, I guess. But it's a really cool moment, right? Because like one, you're like caught off guard because you're like, oh man, the vice president's bad, and then in the next sequence, like a second later, you're like, oh, he's bad because his daughter could benefit from extremists, right? And so like he's got a vested interest in this. This is kind of coming from a good place, and it makes it messy, right? It makes it messy. That was to my earlier point, but second to that, like that was the one person he had time to call. So officially, America thinks the president's dead, and nobody would know that he's kidnapped except Rhodey and Tony. You don't have to love that answer, but I never noticed that until this millionth time rewatching it. I'm like, oh, okay, I see it. The
bit that you referenced, I do. That's also part of my gripe, right? Air Force One goes down. People are just there.
People are
the minute any plane, let alone Air Force One, crashes, every governing body in like 100-mile radius is at that site.
Well, they probably were there. I mean, those people fell. I mean, Iron Man flew them to safety. You know what I mean? He flew them with his barrel of monkey sequence, which is a fantastic hero sequence, by the way. I love that.
In a world full of, at this point in time, granted, a corrupt,
hey man,
fully functional shield.
Mayor Fisk did nothing about Sentry, so suck it.
That tracks. I can believe that.
That tracks.
I can believe, sure. Fine.
I'm saying no Avenger is going to respond to that faster than Iron Man, anyways. By the way, that's on Earth.
Quinjets go pretty fast. Same.
They don't go faster than Iron Man, dude.
Maria Hill could have popped in for a little bit. Just saying.
This movie's long enough. You don't know that she didn't, but regardless, my point is nobody would know the president's
Sure.
alive.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Alive.
Yeah. I
You know,
can.
just
That
concede
that
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 part.
gripe with that movie,
Yeah.
I have it with movies that move on, and like to be fair, it's there's other forces and factors that are the reason behind why certain things or certain people
Right.
don't appear in movies.
Right. But
But
let's move
that
on
was
past that
that
part.
was the
That's fine.
first true instance of that, right? Again, coming from
Because
the
that's
Avengers to the next thing.
because we got spoiled by the Avengers. That's what
100%. Yeah.
that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like we decided
I
that
went
they
back to the
gave
candy
us all
store
fame
and they gave me
afterwards.
a smaller piece of candy.
Yeah, and that's I get it. That's fine. Like they set a bar so high that they expect it, and we all know that's why Iron Man 3 made $1 billion, right? It's not because it was Iron Man 3. It's because we wanted to see what happens after Avengers.
100%.
And I think a lot of people were, because we all know this is not the highest reviewed Iron Man movie of the three. I think most.
This is pre Dark Knight Rises or post Dark Knight Rises? Same
Uh,
summer.
I don't remember. I'm not sure. Yeah, you can look that up. But whatever the case, like I think people had expectations of this movie that could never be met. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And but for me, what I really enjoy about this movie is it takes the time to remind you about who Iron Man really is. And I think the cool part about Iron Man gets really glossed over through the MCU after the first movie, because after the first movie, it's just like making one badass suit after another, after another, after another. And we just want to see what all the cool suits do, right? But the suits are not what makes him Iron Man, right? What makes him Iron Man is that dude built the first suit in a freaking cave out of parts. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, granted, they were weapon parts and stuff like that. But like, I think after that movie, we really gloss over that Tony Stark is. I'm sorry, I'm not sure if you're aware of the character. Do you know who MacGyver is?
Yes.
Tony Stark. No. See, that's why
the guy
MacGruber is a parody. MacGruber is a parody of MacGyver.
Not the other way around?
No, not the other way around.
Yes, I know MacGyver.
But my point is,
yeah, his intellect is like, it's in the comics, it's a superpower on how smart he is. And this movie does a good job of, I think, showcasing his power,
his resourcefulness too. So Tony Stark is MacGyver for an entire generation of people, right? Or I'm saying Robert Downey's Tony Stark, because there's an entire generation of people that have never seen MacGyver, so I think that was really cool of these storytellers for this movie to make it where we create a situation where Tony has to survive for a part of the movie. It's the middle part. I know a lot of people hate that part of the movie, but I really enjoy that part of the movie a lot, because it's so fun to see how much ass he can kick even without the Iron Man suit, And then for everybody who had to sit through that 40 minutes of pain, you were rewarded with all the candy at the end of of this movie. I don't know. For me, House Party Protocol is like, I said hell yeah last night while I was watching this movie for the 18th billionth time. Like, I watched
Your
this.
Wallet said hell no of all those toys you had to buy.
I love them. I never get tired of collecting them. Like, they're so cool. But no, I love the House Party Protocol of this movie because it's so expensive, right? Where the rest of the movie is pretty cheap. Like, that sequence, the last 30 minutes of this movie is out of control. And I read actually that the movie originally was supposed to have a budget of $120 million, but after the success of Avengers, they bumped it up to $200 million. And I think a lot of that money went into that last, that third act for sure. So for me, it was a really fun third act before we started getting so many third acts that just bore us or feel the same. Like, I really like this third act, and
How has the Mandarin bit aged for you?
I'll never hate Trevor in this movie. Now Trevor gets a little old for me in the other ones for sure, but
He's
like
coming back this fall.
I know he is. But like I love him in this movie because they make it such a point of showing you that this guy is the creation of a think tank, and he checks all these different boxes. And like Iron Man pegged him really early on, right? He's like, I don't know, man, there's a lot of theatricality going on here. Like, and so it's funny to me that he thought that, and then he was actually surprised for like a split second that this guy wasn't real, you know. I know it's a bummer for a lot of people who wanted the Mandarin,
I
you know,
mean,
but like
in 2020, in 2013, in that long time ago, putting a character who historically is Asian as a bad guy called the Mandarin probably wasn't gonna fly.
right. They made the choices that they felt were appropriate for the time, and I'm not mad at those choices because hey, eventually we did get the 10 we get the 10 rings, right?
Yep.
We got a real Mandarin later on, and you know, we got all these things. Is it a bummer that we got him after Iron Man was dead? Sure, whatever. You know, like again, we got to pick our battles, man. We can't have it. We can't have all of it. But yeah, no, I think you know, Aldrich Killian and Maya are the villains of this movie, and you can like that or not, you know, like but this movie was directly lifted. The plot of this movie was directly lifted from the Extremis storyline, which was actually the first comic to come out after they had greenlit Iron Man 1. When Marvel had greenlit Iron Man 1, they tasked writer Warren Ellis, coincidentally President Ellis is named after. They tasked Warren Ellis with modernizing Iron Man in the comic books, because they realized that at that point in like 2007 or 6 or whatever, the technology of Iron Man suit had been surpassed by most cell phones that people carry in their pockets. And they're like, please update this guy, you know? So like, that's why he created this Extremis storyline where Iron Man actually got Extremis implanted into him. And suddenly he was able to use the nanotechnology to connect with every single bit of like technology of around him. He became a techno god, basically. He became like cyborg.
That leads into like the Superior Iron Man, right?
The what?
That leads to like the Superior Iron Man story, doesn't it?
No, that's later. That's not technically Tony. I think that's a different.
Not Superior Iron Man, but
it leads to Civil War eventually.
What's the Iron Man with the
Dr.
open
Doom?
face? No, the open face costume, the silver one.
That is Superior.
The bleeding. That's Superior.
That's Superior. The white costume.
Yeah,
it's Superior, but that's a later thing. But the Extremis story was like meant to just really like amp up his power levels, and also coincidentally, the artist that they used for that comic, Adi Granoff, they ended up using him as his initial designs for the Iron Man suits that we now see in the movies, you know. So so it all kind of came full circle, right? Like, I don't know that Extremis was necessarily the top 3 of Iron Man stories that people wanted. I know a lot of Iron Man fans really wanted to see Demon in the Bottle, right? They wanted to see the alcoholism finally dealt with. That's the personal story they wanted. And we just have to accept that Disney just didn't want to do that.
There was a whole bit. I mean, this movie had some trouble with it as well. What's the Maya Hansen character?
Yeah.
Was originally the villain in this movie, and her role got pretty severely diminished.
Well, she's a villain in the movie.
Yeah, she's a villain, but she was the villain. But the selling of a female villain was probably not in vogue at that time.
Yeah.
What was the other thing I was going to bring up? I do say I am kind of bummed that we kind of burned AIM in this movie.
We did we burned through a lot of stuff in the MCU, and that's always kind of a bummer. But in hindsight, like I think it's easier for me to swallow that. You know what I mean? Like I agree with you. At the time, I was a little bitter that AIM was just a one and done kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like
I mean, so to then AIM was a gateway to a MODOK, which sure we got a MODOK eventually, but man,
not like this, right?
Not like
the way
this,
we
and
wanted it.
the beekeeper suits would hit pretty hard. Just saying.
Yeah, there's always things left on the table with every Marvel movie, and I'm not gonna even defend that every choice they made in this movie was the best choice. I don't think that was the best way to introduce Iron Patriot. I think that was kind of thrown away too. I think the way Iron Patriot's introduced in the comics is far more impactful and far more relevant to what's going on now in the comic or in the movies. Because like Valentina is basically a placeholder for Norman Osborn, and in the comics, Norman Osborn creates the Iron Patriot for himself. You know, so it's all you know. It's a very careful balance, right? Like or dance that they're doing, where they're like, how many things can we throw in there without completely ruining this movie? And sometimes they do better than others. And I think in this movie, most of the choices they made benefit the plot, but they definitely upset comic fans in certain ways, right? Like the Mandarin upset a lot of people. I know that for sure. The throwing away of AIM upset a lot of people. I know that for sure. But I think the plot of the movie works really well for what's going on. And I think the other interesting thing about it is the movie starts with a monologue of him explaining how like his demons, you know, like you create your own demons. And I think that's what's really cool is the villains of this movie were actually not created by Iron Man. They were created by Tony years before he was ever Iron Man. And so I think it's kind of appropriate that like he has to deal with them without his suits for a large part of this movie. You know what I mean? Like, because this is your fault. This is your mess. You got to clean it up. And that's why I think it's kind of okay that like it didn't involve all the Avengers, like, because this is like, would it have been nicer if we had met Maya and Aldrich in Iron Man 1 or something like that? You know, then it would have been a payoff, right? Yes, that would have been cooler. I mean, like, you know, hindsight's 2020 for sure. But I do think this really does give us a solid end to an Iron Man trilogy, knowing
you close the book allowing, and it allows for a Steve Rogers story to end, a Thor's story to not end, but like
not end, but like you know what they're about after this is the bigger picture now.
Yeah.
Right. Like we're no longer from now on, every time we see Iron Man, he's big picture Iron Man, right? He's no longer small fries, small potatoes or whatever. Yeah.
I have this quote from Shane Black about the rewrites for this movie. There's a early draft of Iron Man 3 where we had inkling of a problem, which was that we had a female character who was a villain in the draft. We had finished the script and we're going to give it a no holds barred memo saying that we cannot stand, and we've changed our minds because after consulting, we decided that toys won't sell if the main villain's a female. There you go.
I've sadly learned that from Todd McFarlane. He's famous for saying that female toys sell the worst of all action figures. So that's a sad thing to know, but capitalism always bleeds its ugly self into every aspect of our entertainment. And what are you going to do? I mean, this show is brought to you by Geico. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. But yeah, no, I'm sorry. I hog this one a lot, but I just I love this movie.
I don't think it's a bad movie. I do like Shane Black a lot. You as a Iron Man 3 fan should watch The Nice Guys.
I will. Now that I
go watch The Predator. Have you seen The Predator?
Of course I've seen The Predator.
Okay.
I've seen all Predator movies.
Okay.
Doesn't mean like is The Predator is the autism? Yeah, no. That's a bad movie.
Yeah.
But have you seen Lethal Weapon?
No, I've not seen Lethal Weapon.
Well, I can't recommend it now because it's got Mel Gibson in it, but it is great.
I mean, well, Shane Black has his skeleton. That
I'm sure he does.
that
Whatever.
yeah.
Yeah.
But go watch The Nice Guys. That's a fine
I've also never
movie.
seen Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
I've never seen that.
That's also Shane Black.
Yeah.
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 You're all, eh. You've never seen it. How can you say eh?
It's just I just want you to watch The Nice Guys.
Oh, okay. But Kiss Kiss Bang Bang has Val Kilmer and Robert Downey Jr.
Oh, see, now I'm just sad.
Okay.
Well, I think we enjoyed an Iron Man 3.
What comes after this? Yeah.
You know what comes after this.
Is it Guardians?
No.
What?
Thor. We get a Thor.
Oh no.
It's Thor, Cap, then Guardians.
Well, Cap 2 is Chef's Kiss. Like, so that's awesome. But so we gotta do Thor, huh? Ah, fuck. That one's rough, man. That one's rough. It is pretty. I will say it's pretty. But it is that's a tough pill to swallow right there.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah. They took off the sleeves in that movie.
Yes, they did. They also made it so he didn't have to wear his wigs were a lot better, I think. Going forward. Right. So, or if they were wigs. I assume they're wigs. But yeah, that's fine. You can take me off my high. But it's cool. Like I also think it was interesting rewatching Iron Man just before we go. It was a Christmas movie. It's an unapologetic Christmas movie.
Yeah, that's the Shane Blackism.
Yeah, but what I thought was really interesting about it is it's one of two Marvel Christmas movies that features the Grauman's Chinese Theater.
What's the other one?
The Guardians Christmas special. Like, and I'm not talking like in the background. They're heavily featured in both of them, right? Like they literally blow it up in Iron Man 3. And then that's like the place that Mantis and Drax hang out and earn all the money as Kratos and whatever the hell she was supposed to be. And then they end up getting their map to the stars and all that stuff. You know, like it's pretty funny. Like, I don't know. I mean, I understand. I'm sure, you know, Marvel has a really nice history with that theater because they've probably done a lot of big openings and stuff, but it's just strange. It's strange that we now have
I've actually never been inside there. Have you?
Oh, really? Yeah, I've been there.
I've been on the outside many times.
I saw Mission Impossible 2 there.
That must have been fun. Are you going to go see Mission Impossible 7 or whatever we're on now?
I stopped seeing Mission Impossible movies in theaters after Mission Impossible 2.
Oh, I feel like you're either a Mission Impossible guy or you're a Fast and Furious guy, but you're not both.
I stopped being a Mission Impossible person after Mission Impossible 2. Mission Impossible 2 is rough, man. Have you seen it?
I've seen it because I remember the opening.
With the doves and the long hair and it's a John Woo movie. It's a John Woo movie for sure. It feels like a departure from the first one for sure. I'm not saying I haven't seen all of them. I just usually watch them at home. I will counter your argument by saying I am neither a fan of Fast and Furious or Mission Impossible.
Well, I didn't say that. You don't have to be a fan to watch this movie.
Oh, I like them equally in that I dislike them equally too. Yeah. But sorry. That's not how we end. We end with thanks for everybody for joining us. Go watch Iron Man 3 because that movie just keeps getting better. Honestly, you can see the beginnings of everything he does in the rest of the MCU in this movie. If you're just watching it with the context, it's really cool. Like I think they pay off his character beautifully after this movie for the rest of the universe. I know some people get cranky about Civil War and like his decisions in that, but like I don't know. I feel like Tony is Tony feels very justified from his point of view, you know. Doesn't mean he's right. It just means he feels justified. I mean,
he's kind of right. A lot of things.
I'm not saying he's wrong. I'm just saying I'm saying from everybody does.
You can tell what type of person you are if you think Cap was right or wrong in that movie. Given the state of that world,
horrible things and good things have happened in this world by people who feel justified by doing them. Yes. So it's all a matter of perspective. But in any case, I'm done. I'm done talking about.
I'm done. Now. You're done. We're done.
Thor: The Dark World next time
with that True Believers. Enough.